right now on 15 News Now.
And I'll let you know if there's going to be any thunderstorms on your Friday.
Gay activists are moving on after Wednesday's Supreme Court rulings. Scallop season starts Saturday here in the Big Bend. And we have details in why you should pay attention to the president's plan on carbon emission regulations. 15 News Now starts now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
Gay activists say Wednesday's Supreme Court rulings are just the beginning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 15 News Now. America's High Court struck down part of the Defensive Marriage Act and refused to weigh in on California's Proposition 8, clearing that state for gay marriage. But the court did not make same-sex marriage a fundamental right, and that's why the battle is far from over. Paul Strand reports.
Gay individuals and groups, as well as their lawyers who fought against DOMA and Proposition 8, now say the next step is to battle nationwide for legalized same-sex marriage everywhere.
We cannot forget our LGBT brothers and sisters that are in states that still discriminate against them, and we will not allow it.
Within 5 years, we will bring marriage equality to all 50 states in this vast country.
With marriage equality back in California, 40% of the population of the United States is covered by marriage equality.
The lawyers battling Proposition 8 say it's effectively dead because the justices ruled those defending it had no standing to defend it.
They said the proponents have no concrete injury. They cannot point to anything that harms them because these two loving couples and couples like them throughout California are now going to be able to get married.
Those on the other side weren't necessarily admitting defeat on Prop 8. They say at most the High Court has thrown California and gay marriage into somewhat of a legal limbo.
We remain committed to the continued enforcement of Proposition 8 until there is a statewide order saying otherwise.
Even as it wiped DOMA out, the court specifically did not say states have to legalize gay marriage. But its two rulings are big boosts to the gay marriage momentum. Supporters of traditional marriage certainly have a beef with what the Supreme Court has done here. They're saying, how can 5 justices decide these crucial questions about marriage when the voters and the legislators in 38 states have decided differently? One of the biggest problems with gay marriage is that in most states where it's become legal, Christians who stand up too clearly for traditional marriage end up getting bashed, sometimes sued. Could that now happen nationwide with DOMA's defeat, especially with the way the justices denigrated opponents of gay marriage?
Now that the majority said that laws defining marriage between one man and one woman are not supported by any rational basis, that they are driven by either ignorance or hostility, I fear that we're going to see a flood of lawsuits where that'll be the lead for the plaintiffs right out at the gate.
Reverend Rob Schenck says believers need to get ready.
The script has already been written. Christians are angry, mean, bigoted, narrow-minded, ugly people. That's the stereotype. I think we have to do what we can to defeat that stereotype.
All sides on this issue say what the court has done here is important, but it certainly does not decide the question of gay marriage for all of America.
Proposition 8 supporters say they will continue to fight for traditional marriage. They argue another issue is at stake. The court ignored the will of the people, a dangerous event for any democracy. Efren Graham has the story.
Same-sex marriage is essentially legal now in California, and the media is ablaze with celebrating supporters. But backers of Proposition 8 say the Supreme Court has set a dangerous precedent where the will of the voters no longer matters.
The decision of marriage should be left to the people. When the people validly enact a law to limit marriage to one man and one woman, it should be the people who decide whether that law should be reversed.
My initial reaction was, it's a new kind of tyranny. It's where the courts advocate social justice over social structure and social traditions and standards.
Even Justice Kennedy, who voted to strike down DOMA, sided with California voters who approved Prop 8, stating, quote, "The essence of democracy is that the right to make law rests in the people and flows to the government, not the other way around. The California initiative process embodies these principles and has done so for over a century."
If someone doesn't like a proposition that's passed in the state of California, arguably all they would have to do is find one judge, one federal judge, to declare it unconstitutional, and then get a wink and a nod from the Attorney General and the governor, and it's over. And I think that's a terrible, terrible situation to have for the voters to have their votes count and to have their votes respected in the proper system.
It will take at least 25 days before the Supreme Court's ruling becomes official and gay marriages resume in California. If supporters of Proposition 8 ask for a rehearing, then gay marriages may still be barred beyond the 25-day period.
And joining us now from Washington, D.C. in our bureau is Thomas Peters of the National Organization for Marriage. Thomas, what does the DOMA ruling mean for the states, especially for those that have voted to defend traditional marriage?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that it was a split ruling. The court did choose to strike down Section 3, but it actually arguably strengthened Section 2, which says that states that don't have redefined marriage can maintain their marriage laws against states that have redefined marriage.
Indeed, the court has not established a constitutional right to same-sex marriage. Is this good news?
I think it's a hugely important point to be making. Gay marriage activists did not get what they wanted here. They came into this court saying that in both cases the court would establish a fundamental right to redefine marriage in our Constitution, and the court refused to do so. I think we're going to see in the future that has huge ramifications for the ability of pro-marriage people to defend marriage and state laws.
Thomas, I want to raise another point here. In the Proposition 8 decision, it appears that the voices of 7 million voters who wanted to ban gay marriage have been dismissed. Do you see it that way?
I agree with you. I think it's truly outrageous. I wrote a piece about this yesterday. It's absolutely extraordinary that the Supreme Court would rule that the very people who raised money to put a measure on the ballot, who fought hard to pass the ballot, aren't allowed to defend that law in court when an activist judge tries to strike it down. This has ramifications far beyond the marriage debate, and I think it reminds us that there's more at stake in the marriage debate than simply marriage. This is a fundamental pillar of our democracy, and I think it deserves more attention.
Now, we are being told by the president and others that gay marriage will not be forced on churches. But how will these rulings affect Christians who may disagree with gay marriage out in public?
Well, we have to start with this important point that President Obama has a very, very narrow view of religious freedom, which is not what our founding fathers guaranteed. By saying that you're not going to be forcing pastors to do a same-sex marriage, that implies that Christians only have their rights when they're within their church walls. Christians have the full First Amendment rights to stand for marriage in the public square, in their businesses, out in their communities, in their neighborhoods, in politics. And so I think it's a very dangerous thing to say, well, we're not going to come into your churches, we're just going to force you to keep your faith in them. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Real quickly, won't the debate eventually leave the state level again and head back to the Supreme Court, since gay activists argue they haven't achieved full equality?
Well, I think that the legal battle is not over by any means, and I think that these bad rulings the Supreme Court laid down yesterday will ultimately have to be revisited and overturned. So yes, that's part of our legal strategy moving forward.
I want to talk to you more about the media and gay activists real quickly here. The media and gay activists say this is all about equality and that anyone should be allowed to love whomever they want. Is this a valid argument?
Well, there's more involved in marriage than simply love. Government is not in the love business. I don't need the government to tell me who I love or who my best friend is or what my favorite flavor of ice cream is. Why government is involved in the marriage business is because marriage is that unique relationship which could result in a child, and that child deserves to have a mother and a father. And so arguments about equality and love, while interesting and important, as soon as you define the terms, you see that marriage actually values the equal contributions of mothers and fathers. It's as simple as that.
All right. Thomas Peters of the National Organization for Marriage, thank you so much for your time.
That was Efren Graham reporting for 15 News Now. 60-year-old Lloyd Phelps will be facing a jury of his peers less than a year after being indicted for the murder of Patricia Niece Knight. A trial date has been set for July 22nd through the 26th. That's been set aside for the case that stretches back to 2006 when Knight was first reported missing. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new information on WSFD15.com and 15 News Now. A friend of Trayvon Martin, who was the last person to talk to the teenager before his encounter with George Zimmerman, was back on the witness stand for a second day in the Neighborhood Watch Volunteers murder trial. Rachel Gentile took the stand on Thursday. She's one of the prosecution's most important witnesses because she bolsters the contention that Zimmerman was the aggressor in his confrontation with 17-year-old Martin. Now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. And Dustin, what's on the horizon?
Thanks a lot, Fred. Taking a look at our forecast throughout the evening hours. Cloudy skies for most of the evening. Temperature around 89 degrees at 7 p.m. down to about 83 at 9. And then we're going to see a chance of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder at midnight with a temperature of 78. How long will these thunderstorms last? Will we see them on your Friday and through the weekend? I'll let you know coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
Up next on 15 News Now, scallop season starts here in the Big Bend. That story coming up only on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
On Wednesday, Governor Rick Scott asked the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission to have scallop season start on Saturday. The original date was set for next Monday. Lieutenant Patrol Supervisor Scott Lee says if you go scalloping, you must have a license if you're 16 years or older. Lee tells 15 News Now what the limits are this year.
It's 2 gallons per person, and the shell, or 1 pint cleaned meat per person. And it's a maximum of 10 gallons per boat, or a ½ gallon cleaned per boat.
Scallop season runs through September 24th. On Friday, we'll dig deeper in scalloping. The IRS Tea Party targeting scandal is not dead just yet. The principal deputy commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service faced tough questions Thursday from the House Ways and Means Committee. It was Danny Werfel's third appearance before Congress since President Obama appointed him to lead the troubled agency in May. Werfel's appearance comes amid claims that the IRS also targeted progressive groups that sought tax-exempt status. Werfel had to explain his recent finding that there was no purposeful wrongdoing at the IRS and only mismanagement. A Southwest Florida man has been sentenced to 14 years in prison for beating his employer's dog to death with a tire iron. Kevin Kolaski pleaded no contest to 6 charges, including animal cruelty and armed burglary. He must also serve 5 years probation, and he is prohibited from contacting the dog's owners. Authorities say the owner of John's Automotive reported his 4-year-old Mansif missing in April. After reviewing surveillance video, he told deputies that he saw the man kill his dog. The owner had said that he had been asked to leave a day earlier after causing a disturbance. Investigators determined that he climbed over a barbed wire fence, killed the dog with a tire iron, wrapped the dog in a blanket, and buried it nearby. Well, authorities say a North Carolina motorcyclist has died and 2 others face charges after a road rage incident in Florida's Panhandle. Terry Gibbs died Wednesday. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office say Gibbs was injured June 17th when his motorcycle was struck by a vehicle at a gas station in Marianna. Up next, we'll have details on why you should pay attention to the president's plan on carbon emission regulations. 15 News Now will be right back.
Health Insurance Update.
This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
President Obama's proposal for sweeping changes to carbon emission regulations and more funding for green energy technologies announced on Tuesday could improve air quality and reduce sea level rise in Florida. Steve Murchie with the National Wildlife Federation explains to 15 News Now why the state should pay particular attention to the president's plan.
Florida, perhaps more than any other state in the country, is at risk from the impacts of climate change. Most of the state is very low-lying. It won't take much sea level rise to have a dramatic impact.
Sea level rise is believed by scientists to be one of the effects of global warming as glaciers melt. Obama says he's using an executive order to enact his proposal, which bypasses any debate on the issue in an already contentious Congress. Part of the proposal limits carbon emissions at new and existing power plants across the country. Murchie says that could have a direct impact on air quality in Florida, with 12 coal-fired plants located in the state.
We have many of them here in Florida. Crystal River in particular is one of the worst in the country. But we have several other highly polluting coal-fired power plants in Florida. Crystal River produces more than 12 million tons of carbon dioxide per year, an amount significantly higher than the other coal plants in the state. The plan's detractors have said that it will cost jobs in the coal industry. The father of a Northeast Florida girl who's slain after being abducted while shopping with her mother has arrived in Jacksonville for her funeral. Billy Giroux says he is in shock and disbelief that his daughter, Cherish Periwinkle, is gone. Celebrity chef Paula Deen said she is not a racist during a tearful interview on NBC's Today Show Wednesday. Deen has been plagued by controversy since admitting in a legal deposition that she's used racist language in the past. But she says she is not a racist. She defended herself in a tearful interview on NBC's Today Show.
I've had wonderful support, and I tell you what, if there's anyone out there that has never said something that they wish they could take back, if you're out there, please pick up that stone and throw it so hard in my head that it kills me. Please. I want to meet you.
Despite the backlash, she said she still had wonderful support. Her supporters include former Food Network star winner Aaron McGargo Jr., who is African American. He called her a friend on Facebook, saying that Paula has always been very helpful and supportive throughout his career. We are all human, and we should never be quick to judge anyone. Author Anne Rice also came to Deen's defense. She wrote on Facebook, "Wow, this looks like a crucifixion. I may be wrong, but aren't we becoming something of a lynch mob culture?" Walmart is the latest company to drop Paula Deen products.
What does your Friday look like? I'll let you know coming up. We'll be right back.
Mom! Mom? Oh.
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Cloudy skies out there right now and a temperature of 92 degrees, but look what it feels like. 100 degrees is what it feels like. Current 2.73, 53% humidity and a southwest wind at 11 miles per hour. As we look at our weather headlines, we will see thunderstorms continue off and on. Hot and humid times continue as well, and it looks like summer is definitely sticking around. throughout the Big Bend area. Here's what our forecast looks like on your Friday, finally Friday. I'm so excited I can't even think about what day it is. We will see the possibility of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Some areas could see more than others, but we're definitely going to see pretty much the entire state of Florida seeing showers and thunderstorms on your Friday. Here's your forecast. If you're going out and about this evening, we're definitely going to be on the warm side. 89 degrees with cloudy skies at 7 p.m., 9 p.m. temperature, 83 with cloudy skies. And then by midnight, we're down to about 78 and some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Forecast for tonight, showers and thunderstorms, especially after midnight, 73 for your overnight low, south wind 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow, another warm day, high about 92 degrees and showers and thunderstorms, southwest wind 10 to 15. Looking ahead the next several days, thunderstorms continue on your Saturday, that should be Saturday, and then some rain on your Sunday and Monday, and lasting through next week, temperatures starting to cool off a little bit into the 80s for next week. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website. That's WSFD15.com.
I'm Stacy Johnson. Ready for a recipe that'll feed a family of 4 a feast for less than 15 bucks? See what's cooking just ahead on Money Talks News.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. You just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family. So I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
We all want to get the most for our money, especially when it comes to food for our family. So how about a meal for a family of 4 for less than $15? This week's Frugal Family Feast features a fun and tasty tater bite casserole.
I'm Stacy Johnson here with fabulous chef Ray De La Osa. He is the resident chef for Publix Aprons Cooking School. He's going to make us a feast that's going to feed a family of 4 for less than 15 bucks. What do you got for me today, Chef?
I have a tater bite casserole.
Sounds great. What goes in it?
We start off with some tater bites. We have ground beef, a seasoning blend, cream of mushroom soup, cream of tomato soup, and some peas and carrots.
Sounds great, Chef. Throw it together for me.
Well, we start by putting our tater bites into the oven.
My job. There they go. Then what?
Then we have some ground beef that's browning over here, and we added our seasoning blend.
Which is?
It's onions, celery, peppers, and a little bit of parsley.
Cool.
And then we go ahead and add our cream of tomato soup. We also add our cream of mushroom.
I guess this is going to?
That's going in as well, thank you very much. And we add our peas and carrots. And at this point, everything's done. We just mix it up real good. As soon as our tater bites are out of the oven, you can either serve everything separate, or you can arrange the tater tots right on top.
And just because it's tater bites doesn't mean it's kids.
That's right. The whole family will enjoy this.
And it looks good in there. I've got it right here. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh my, that is really, really super good.
Isn't it awesome? It actually costs less than $15 to feed a family of 4.
Wonderful. And you know what you need now? The recipe! It's waiting for you right at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for Frugal Family Feast. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Like Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links over at his website. To get there, just go to our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu. Are you looking for something to do with all of those extra pool noodles? If so, our science guy Jason Lindsay with Hooked on Science shows us all how to turn a pool noodle into a marble run.
You have a lot of these lying around the house, pool noodles. If so, grab one. Have an adult cut it in half by using a box cutter. Just slice right along the sides like that. Once you get all the way to the bottom and you have 2 pieces, attach it to the wall like Ethan and I did here in the Hooked on Science lab by using Velcro. Ethan, take a marble. I want you to start over there. And what's going to happen is as soon as Ethan lets it go, gravity takes over, pulls it down, and shoots it across the wall here. It's a pretty awesome science experiment. Now remember, when you're building this, you can't make this hill here higher than the first hill because you have to get enough potential energy to shoot it across this one, and usually if this one's higher than that one, it's not going to work. Try it again, Ethan. Put a few more in there. If you're just joining us, we're creating the pool noodle marble run. Learn more at hookedonscience.org.
Go to WSFD15.com, click on Hooked on Science under the Lifestyles menu for this experiment and others that might get you and your entire family hooked on science.
Mom! Mom? Oh.
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family. So I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
This is Sports Zone.
Placido Polanco homered for the first time in more than a year, and Jeff Mathis hit his first since last August, helping the Miami Marlins overcome a 3-run deficit Wednesday in a 5-3 win over the Minnesota Twins. Miami is 13-9 this month and is assured of winning a record in June following a 14-41 start. Still, the Marlins' 27-50 record is the poorest in the major leagues. R.A. Dickey pitched a 2-hitter for his first complete game of the year. Jose Reyes went 0 for 4 in his return from a 2-month layoff, and the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Tampa Bay Rays 3-0 Wednesday for their 12th win in 14 games. Dickey retired his first 13 batters before James Loney grounded a single between shortstop and third base with 1 out in the 5th. Yunel Escobar had a 1-out single in the 6th, then was erased when Matt Joyce hit a double play grounder. It's probably not conceivable for the first 2-time defending champion Miami Heat to get markedly better during Thursday's NBA draft for one simple reason. Their first-round selection this season is the property of the Phoenix Suns. After a series of trades involving the Los Angeles Lakers and Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavs originally obtained what would have been the number 30 pick in this draft as part of the sign and trade deal that formerly sent LeBron James to Miami in 2010. And that's today in sports.
Dustin says more thunderstorms are on the horizon for the rest of the week. We'll keep you posted right here on 15 News Now or WSFD15.com or any of the Dawkins radio stations in the area. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow with more. Until then, God bless everybody.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.